There are a multitude of ways that you can use render parameters to inform your JobTread quantities inside of your budgets. Now, sometimes you may find it useful just to simply do this from your budget inside of your job, where you can actually click the quantity formula and steer it towards a particular render parameter. But most popularly, I think people are actually going into the catalog and storing the information here in the cost items or the cost groups inside of the catalog. You can do this individually, or you can actually build cost groups like I have done with several templates where, for instance, this hall bath rip and replace, you can see that I've built this all the way from top to bottom, from building plans through cabinets and tile. And for many items, I'm steering these things to look for a particular render parameter so that when this template is brought into a particular job and there's a render space attached to it, it knows to inform the quantity with that particular parameter. And ultimately, this is building estimates completely for me. Now, for particular cost items, say for instance, I have a drywall price that I get from my subcontractor here, this drywall 4x8 sheet. You can see here that this is $80 per sheet, and this is hung and finish, and then the quantity is set to 0. This is something where when we bring this in, my estimator or myself, one of my designers, would actually have to go and change this quantity with a sheet count for a particular space. Now with render parameters, you can do this automatically with a formula. So let me show you how I would do this. So for my drywall 4x8 sheet, and we're going to rename this. We're going to say this is a rip and replace job. Because, you know, in some cases we may be affecting only a specific area, or perhaps we are only dealing with a specific room, and we may not be doing a full, you know, rip and replace where the render parameter is very helpful. But in the event that we're replacing all the drywall in a space, we can actually have render do the calculation for us. So let's call this rip and replace. And for my quantity, I'm going to set a formula for this. So we're going to round this because we're going to want an even sheet count, but we're going to take the paintable surface area. This is going to be all of my wall surface area plus my ceiling surface area in one square footage number. Now, if you only wanted wall surface area, say you had textured walls and you were looking to sand them down, we could isolate that particular square footage by selecting wall surface area. But for this case, paintable wall surface area, and we're going to divide this by 32. That will give me my sheet count based on the square footage of the space. So let's go ahead and update this. And let's go to a job here that I just synced a render space to, and in the budget tab, let's go ahead and bring that cost item in so that you can see what that looks like. Now we did drywall rip and replace at $80 a sheet, and you can see that it's automatically calculating 54 sheets based on the square footage of all of my walls and my ceilings in that particular space.